Let the spookiness begin. Hi everyone, 안녕하세요 여러분. My name is Chandrich, welcome to Cinemarea where we only talk about South Korean movies and TV shows, and welcome to the Whispering Corridors Marathon! Starting from today, I'm gonna be putting out a video every day for all 5 of the Whispering Corridors movies. But first thing first, let's take a look at the 1998 horror movie Whispering Corridors, or 여고괴담. This movie actually has a pretty important part in Korea's cinematic history. This was one of the first movies of the new wave of Korean cinema, and it became a surprise hit at the Korean box office at the time. So the question is it good? Overall, I would say yes, although it's definitely not perfect. The movie takes place in an all-female high school where real things are happening at night. Right at the beginning of the movie, one of the teachers dies. Man, I wish my high school was like that. But before she dies, she calls up one of her co-workers and tells her some weird things about a dead student who seems to be alive. So we're dealing with a ghost. Spooky. After that, the main focus is on a few classmates and their everyday struggles at school. Apparently, this movie was a social commentary on the harsh educational system in Korea, and yeah, it is pretty upsetting to see how the male teachers actually treat the girls. I really hope that things are better right now. The reason I'm mentioning this is because a large portion of this movie is ghostless, and honestly, it can get pretty boring at times. What saves these moments is the underlying uncomfortable atmosphere that the movie has. You can always feel that something is not right, that there's something that needs to be explored. And these moments actually keeps you interested in the film, even though you might be bored here and there. But thankfully, the movie keeps you guessing for quite a long time, and as the movie reaches its end, you really want to know what is going on. But the best thing about Whispering Corridors is the ending. It's a lot more heartfelt and sad than I expected it to be. So even though there were moments or even minutes that I didn't like in the film, the ending absolutely made up for them. Except for the very last shot. That was completely unnecessary. But other than that, the third act is great. But, like I mentioned before, this is definitely not a perfect movie. Most of the problems come from the budget of the film. I'm pretty sure that the budget wasn't really high, so from a visual standpoint, Whispering Corridors is definitely lacking. Some of the effects are ridiculous, some of the slow motion scenes are absolutely terrible, and I know this was done in 1998, but still, from a visual standpoint, Whispering Corridors definitely do not stand the test of time. And the acting is, well, for the most part, is tolerable. I personally didn't really find anyone to be exceptionally good, and unfortunately, there are some dialogue scenes that are really bad. Sometimes there are long pauses between sentences that are unnecessary and unnatural, and these can really take you out of the movie. But my main problem is the lack of tension here. The people who die here are all assholes. Except for one, I think. So when the ghost chases after them, you really don't care if that particular person is gonna live or not. In fact, you're even cheering for the ghost for that matter. And since it's a horror movie, I expected a lot more tension and a lot more scary stuff. Whispering Corridors is not scary, especially if you've seen a ghost movie before. So overall, there are definitely problems here. Some of them has to do with the amount of money they had, but the mystery that's surrounding the ghost is pretty interesting. And as I mentioned before, the ending is really good. So when the movie ended, I was really happy because it was so emotionally satisfying. So if you like horror movies, that aren't just about the supernatural, or if you're interested in the roots of modern day Korean cinema, give this one a shot, you might enjoy it, and I'm gonna give this one 70%. It's a flawed one for sure, but it's still pretty enjoyable. That's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned because tomorrow I'll be reviewing the second Whispering Corridors movie. So if you don't mind, I've got some movie watching to do. See you guys next time. 다음 시간에 만나요. Bye!